This afternoon, the bill on reform in the Senate failed to move forward. It may still see the light of day at some point, but at the moment it's stalled in the Senate. As well, you have an executive order that is coming out later on this week regarding monuments, and what to do about people who deface or damage these monuments. Could you tell us what you're planning to do in the executive order and your reaction to what happened in the Senate?
Well, the Senate Republicans want very much to pass a bill on police reform. We have total cooperation with many different communities, including the police community. They want it very much to happen themselves because there are things that they agree to that they would like to agree to, and they would love to have it agreed to formally. The Democrats don't want to do it because they want to weaken our police. They want to take away immunity. They want to do other things that you know about as well as anybody in this beautiful field that we sit. They want to take away a lot of the strength from our police and from law enforcement generally, and we can't live with that. We can't live with that. This is a great bill, strongly endorsed by, as you know, Tim Scott, who's terrific, who is a terrific man, great senator, South Carolina, and Mitch wants it to happen. I would like to see it happen, but we won't sacrifice. We won't do that. We won't do anything that's going to hurt our police. The police, you know, we have a record this year on crime, a record positive rating on crime this year, the best. And you hear about certain places like Chicago, and you hear about what's going on in Detroit and other cities, all Democrat run. Every one of them's Democrat run. 20 out of 20, 20 worst, the 20 most dangerous are Democrat run. We have one city or two cities in particular, worse than Honduras, worse than Afghanistan. And these are cities within the United States, Democrat run, radical left run. You see what's going on in Seattle. You see what's going on in other places. Seattle of all places, who would even think that's possible? 20 out of 20. The Democrats want to weaken very substantially our law enforcement and our police. And frankly, they want to defund largely, at least largely. There are some that want to defund and abolish our police, if you can believe that. And we're not letting that happen. So if nothing happens with it, it's one of those things. We have different philosophies. They want open borders. They want sanctuary cities. We don't. As far as your second question, I think that we're going to have a very strong executive order, but we already have we have the Monuments Act already, which means 10 years in jail. But I think we're going to consolidate various things. We're going to come out with a very strong executive order, and I should have that by the end of the week, which is fast approaching. We're going to have it a very powerful statement. We've arrested numerous people, as you know, for what took place outside of Washington. In addition, the FBI is investigating hundreds of people throughout the country for what they've done to monuments, statues, and even buildings. So we have very strong laws already on the books. I mean, we have a law that's 10 years. It's 10 years. That's a long time to have fun one night. I think many of the people that are knocking down these statues don't even have any idea what the statue is, what it means, who it is. When they knock down Grant, when they want to knock down Grant. But when they look at certain, now they're looking at Jesus Christ. They're looking at George Washington. They're looking at Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not as long as I'm here. As far as Democrats are concerned, I think they could care less whether or not it happens. And I think the American people get it. So we're going to have a very strong executive order, and it'll happen very quickly before the end of the week.
We have an election coming up in November. You have an election coming up on Sunday. Some of your critics, who are politicians here in the United States, have criticized this visit to the White House, saying it is tantamount to election interference because it shows a very close relationship between the United States and Poland at a time when you really need it. What do you say to those critics? And Mr. President, feel free to weigh in if you want to.
Szanowny panie, przede wszystkim.
Sir, first of all, let me also follow up on the question that you asked to President Donald Trump. I would like to thank you, Mr. President, because, among others, not a long time ago, the monument to General Tadeusz Kościuszko was devastated. That was the national hero of Poland, but also the national hero of the United States, who was fighting for the independence of the United States. He had great merits. He was also the commander of a Polish uprising where he was fighting for the independence of Poland. He suffered heavy wounds in Poland fighting for the independence of our country, and for completely incomprehensible reasons to us, that monument was devastated recently. And thank you so much that it has been renewed so fast, and that made it possible for me to lay flowers at that monument and pay tribute to that great soldier and a great commander. Thank you for that. That was outrageous for a big number of Polish people back in Poland, all of them probably, and for many, many Polish people living here also in the United States. Polish organizations here in the United States asked me and told me that they would renew that monument. I know that it has already been renewed by the United States. No assistance was needed, so I'm very grateful for that here the monument to Tadeusz Kościuszko stands near the White House, and he looks as he should look, which he has deserved for the merits he laid for the United States and for Poland. So thank you very much for that, Mr. President. And answering to your question, 2 months ago, at the very beginning of the pandemic of coronavirus, we had a lengthy conversation with President Donald Trump. The pandemic disrupted the plans of our cooperation, which we had. And back then, we made an arrangement with Mr. President that we would meet as soon as it would be possible. And this has been implemented. And the fact that this arrangement has been put into force is demonstrated by the visit today. I'm very grateful to Mr. President for inviting me here today. And together with Mr. President, we are implementing our presidential duties. The president is always in charge of his national interests. And this is the task of the president. When the president is acting in the international sphere, this is my sense, but I also know that also it is a very strong belief of President Donald Trump. The president is supposed to realize the interest of their country. So Mr. President Trump is realizing the interest of his own country, and I'm realizing the interest of Poland. So we are looking for a win-win situation where both parties are the winners, where both parties are able to implement their interests as part of the cooperation which we're implementing. This is the way we act, and in this very moment we're acting on a national level, on the state level. We are just fulfilling our obligations and duties as presidents of our countries, as those who are representing our nations and who want our societies to have as good lives as possible. Thank you very much.
Doing very well in Poland. He's doing a terrific job. The people of Poland think the world of him. And by the way, Mrs. Duda, who's a terrific woman who we've gotten to know also through our various travels and meetings. But they think the world of him, and I don't think he needs my help. I'm honored that this is a day that's, I guess, just before your election. I'm honored, but he will do very well with or without us. He's going to have a great success, and Poland is going to continue on. They're doing incredibly well as a country. Okay, please.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President. Best regards to Madame Melania,
Thank
to
you.
your wife. Pan redaktor, bardzo proszę, telewizja polska.
Polish television. Good morning, Rafał Stańczyk, Polish television.
I want to ask about timing of that visit. President Andrzej Duda is the first president, the first international guest in the White House since the lockdown. And today there was a big military parade in Moscow. Can we combine those two facts? Is it kind of proof that that Poland is an important partner for America? Can we treat it that we can rely on America in Poland? Thank you.
Well, I think you can, and we also are working with Russia right now on an arms treaty, which is a very big thing, nuclear arms specifically, but we're working very much, and I think I can say, Mike, we're doing very well on that. We're two countries that want to see it happen, and we're working on other things with Russia. We have a very good relationship. We have our ambassador over there right now who'll be attending certain festivities, and that's a good thing, and I think that's frankly a good thing for Poland also. Likewise, we're going to be having very important dignitaries at your parade. You're going to be having a very big event soon, and we're going to be, I guess, in August, and we're going to have people representing the United States at a very high level, and that's very important to us also. Okay? Please.
Panie redaktor.
Sir, I have this feeling and sense that I'm conducting negotiations in Polish matters here in a very experienced and very tough politician, a tough player, I can say, that is President Donald Trump, who is standing strongly and looking to the interest of his country and his citizens. What I'm doing here is I'm representing Polish interests here, and I'm not parading in Moscow. That is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. We will see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.